Have you ever wondered why you keep ending up in the same situations, just with different people, different faces, different settings? It's like deja vu, but it's not mystical, it's emotional. You swear you've learned the lesson. You promise yourself, I'll never go through this again. And yet somehow life hits repeat. That's what I call emotional amnesia, when your soul remembers the pain, but your patterns forget the lesson. We keep reaching for the familiar, even when it hurts. We confuse comfort with safety, and we wonder why our lives keep circling the same mountains. Today, we're going to talk about the truth behind repeating patterns, what they really mean, why they exist, and how to finally break free from emotional amnesia. Hey, beautiful soul, welcome back to Way of the Wise Owl. I'm your host, Dagmari, and this episode is going to get raw because I've lived this, and I know you have too. There was a time when I thought the universe was playing tricks on me. Same heartbreak, different name. Same argument, different partner. Same emptiness, different situation. I didn't realize I was the one on repeat. I wasn't cursed, I was unconscious. You see, emotional amnesia happens when we forget what pain taught us, when we refuse to look at the lesson because the truth feels too heavy. We remember the heartbreak, but not the behavior that led us there. We remember the betrayal, but not the boundary we ignored. So we end up right back where we started. Only this time the pain hits harder because deep down we knew better. Let's define it clearly. Emotional amnesia is when we unconsciously forget the emotional lesson life has already tried to teach us. It's not about memory, it's about avoidance. It's our heart saying, I can't handle that again, so it shuts down instead of healing. And because it's unhealed, it silently steers our choices. You think you're starting fresh, but really you're replaying. We attract what feels familiar, not what feels healthy. That's why someone raised in chaos finds calmness boring. That's why someone who grew up unseen keeps chasing attention. That's why someone who fears abandonment will settle for half love just to not be alone. It's not that you don't know better. It's that your nervous system still feels safer in what's familiar. That's why this matters. Until you become conscious of your patterns, you'll keep repeating them and calling them fate, bad luck, or just how life is. My story, my transformation moment. I remember a season of my life where I kept falling for the same kind of man. Charming, passionate, emotionally unavailable. Each one made me feel seen until they didn't. Every time it ended, I said, I'll never do this again. And every time I did, it wasn't that I didn't recognize the red flags. Oh, I saw them. I just chose to paint them white because I was addicted to the feeling of being needed, even if it cost me my peace. That's emotional amnesia. I had forgotten what my last heartbreak taught me, that attention isn't affection and chemistry isn't compatibility. But the real breakthrough came one night after a breakup. I was sitting on the floor crying, thinking, why do I always end up here? And then it hit me, because I keep choosing the version of love that mirrors my wounds, not my worth. That realization shattered me and freed me all at once. It wasn't about them, it was about me. I had to relearn what love felt like without pain attached to it. I had to stop romanticizing struggle and start choosing peace. And to do that, I had to stop forgetting what my own experiences were trying to teach me. That was the day I stopped blaming the mirror and started studying it. So how do we heal emotional amnesia? How do we stop repeating patterns that keep us trapped in the same emotional loops? Here are 5 practical soulful steps that will help you begin breaking free. Dawa 1. Acknowledge the pattern. You can't heal what you don't name. Ask yourself, what do my heartbreaks, conflicts, or failures have in common? What emotion keeps showing up in a rejection, abandonment, guilt, shame? Write it down. You're not being punished, you're being shown something. To identify the payoff. Every pattern has a hidden benefit, even the painful ones. Maybe staying in toxic situations makes you feel needed. Maybe repeating chaos keeps you distracted from loneliness. Maybe choosing unavailable people allows you to avoid real intimacy. Ask, what am I getting out of this behavior? That's where the real truth lives. 3. Feel it fully. Emotional amnesia thrives on avoidance. The moment you sit with your pain and without numbing, blaming, or escaping, it loses control over you. Cry, journal, scream into a pillow, pray. Do what you need to feel it all. Because pain that's felt becomes wisdom. Pain that's avoided becomes a pattern. B for rewrite the narrative. Ask yourself, what do I want to believe about love, trust, success, or worth now? Who am I when I stop repeating the past? You can't rewrite your story if you keep rereading the same chapter. Start imagining a different ending and then live like it's possible. Guy Da Kadu 5. Anchor new awareness in daily habits. Self awareness is not a one time breakthrough, it's a daily practice. Every day, remind yourself just because it feels familiar doesn't mean it's right. Do something different. Say no faster. Pause longer. Choose peace, even if it feels uncomfortable. That's how new patterns begin. Small, consistent choices. When you break emotional amnesia, your life starts to look and feel completely different. You begin to see red flags for what they are, not for what you hope they'll be. You stop settling for half love because you remember what full love feels like. You start responding with clarity instead of reacting from fear. You'll notice your energy shift from needing closure to choosing peace, from chasing validation to building inner security. And that's when life changes. Not because the world suddenly got kinder, but because you remembered who you are. Breaking patterns doesn't mean you'll never struggle again. It means when pain comes, you'll say, I've been here before, but I won't stay here again. That's emotional mastery. That's awareness in action. So if you take one truth from today, let it be this. Repetition is not bad luck, it's a message. Every pattern that keeps repeating is your soul saying, hey, you forgot the lesson, let's try again. Emotional amnesia ends the moment you remember. Remember what hurt. Remember what healed. Remember what you deserve. You can't rewrite history, but you can stop living it on loop. The mirror doesn't lie, and neither do your patterns. They reveal exactly where your healing still lives. So, next time you feel deja vu, don't judge yourself. Pause and ask, what did I forget to remember? That's where your freedom begins. Thank you, my beautiful soul, for spending this sacred time with me today. If this episode spoke to you, if it reminded you of your own repeating cycles, share it with someone who's ready to remember their truth too. And don't forget to visit my website, wayofthewiseowl.com, for more healing resources, journal prompts, and free tools to help you end emotional amnesia for good. You deserve a new chapter, one written in awareness, not amnesia. Until next time, stay true, stay grounded,